Welcome back, everybody. This is the Law and Crime Network. I'm Michael Bryant. We're in Florida for the Ashley Macarthur case. This is a first-degree murder case. The prosecution saying that, hey, Ashley Macarthur put a bullet in the head of Taylor Wright. No, we don't have the gun, but we have a body, and we have a lot of circumstantial evidence here. So that's what we would like you, Mr. and Mrs. Jury, to convict this woman on. And it's a life without the possibility of parole. Automatic in Florida. So one of the things, they're on a break right now, so we're catching up on some of the witnesses that you may have missed from earlier today or even into the evening last night. One of my favorite witnesses, and a guy that I've kind of thrown some shade on because I think he's a little shady, and that is a guy by the name of Brandon Beatty. Now, he is the boyfriend of the married defendant, Ashley Macarthur. They got together through her jukebox, pool table, concession vending business. And, well, I'll let him tell you more about the story. This is Brandon. They will never find that because she's gone. So that was obviously the punctuation of that part of the testimony from Brandon Beatty. He is the former boyfriend of the defendant, the married defendant. But I think we glossed over some of the stuff that might be more or as important, certainly as interesting. Milton Flores here in the studio with me. She bought him a boat. She paid the utility bill at times at the bar, Sticks, that he owned. She bought supplies for him, and bought him a motorcycle. Sounds like a normal relationship to me. What the hell's going on there?
Well, I believe the prosecutor, by asking him all these questions and bringing that all out on direct examination, did the defense a favor. And I just wish that the defense...
How so? How so?
Well, by piling up on all these things, that this is a man that obviously his loyalty was to her. She was taking care of him. He's, in this case, he was being taken care of by her. He's getting all these gifts. She's paying for his Sam's Club membership, whatever that is.
And he doesn't even
Costco.
know at the time that she's skimming from the vending machines that her company is in partnership with him about. This woman, I'm telling you. Okay, joining the panel now, I'm happy to welcome Lisa Lockwood. She is a former SWAT officer, also a detective in law enforcement. You're in the 90210, is that right, Lisa?
Yeah.
Okay, a crime analyst out there. A lot of crime going on in Beverly Hills these days. So welcome, glad to have you. Give me your initial impressions of this case, and then we'll get into some detail.
Yeah, here's a woman who had been deceptive, obviously, in the past, who has committed crime in which the jury is not being privy to, as far as her background, because obviously they're going to suppress that. So here again is a woman who is showing this incredible generosity to a man, somebody looking for love, somebody who is very needy and uses that money in order to keep it as a tool in order to keep people in her life. So to have somebody as trusting as Taylor to go to her and think that this woman is going to protect her assets and protect her against her husband who's trying to steal the money, she was fooled. It was a complete sham.
Yeah, I think her choices of friends might be questioned, but you shouldn't be killed for that. Let me ask you, Ann Bremer, why not, instead of giving this 34 grand, and this is the money that we think she was trying to hide from her husband who was going after her for late child support payments, why not just put it in a coffee can or put it in a pillowcase or under the mattress? Why give it to anybody?
Exactly. But she trusted her, and she didn't have a bank account, and she wanted to have it safe. Unbelievably, it all disappeared, and of course, they go to discuss the matter, and that's when, of course, she disappears.
Boy, let's go and listen to more of Brandon Beatty. Again, this is the ex-boyfriend of the defendant. Here we go. Okay, well, I'm sorry. I just tuned in, and this is apparently a case about gun running, because I counted up at least a dozen guns that this witness has testified that Ashley Macarthur, the defendant, has either bought, sold, loaned, given away. Boy, Lisa Lockwood, have you had that many guns in your SWAT van back in the day? There's a lot of guns.
No, that's quite the argument.
What does that tell you?
The woman loves guns, no question about it. She was already involved in one type of crime. Now she has attracted a man in her life that also loves guns. And now, yeah, the idea of gun running, sure, that's a possibility out there. But remember, she did mention in her interrogation about going to the SHOT Show, which is in Las Vegas every year, people who are big gun enthusiasts, knife enthusiasts, that sort of thing. It was a common experience for her to go ahead and attend that, obtain weapons, and then what is she going to do with the weapons afterward is the question. Certainly, he was gifted many guns and couldn't explain what the occasion was, why he received them. But where are they? They're traceable, no question about it, unless they were buying untraced guns. And the fact that we don't have a murder weapon on this case, and the fact that she held those cards close to her chest and didn't even admit it to her boyfriend, that's really says something about her character.
Yeah, you know, and Lisa makes a good point there about the fact we don't have the murder weapon, but what we do know is that the defendant kind of knows guns. Important?
Yeah, I think it's very important. And going through all those, just what we heard on cross just now and trying to minimize that didn't get very far. These are really serious guns. These are kind of guns that, you know, members of the jury would think, you know, AK-47 or, you know, whatever else, semi-automatic guns, you know, do you shoot them? Do you use them? No. Well, presumably she knew what she was doing in buying those guns and giving those to the one she loves.
Yeah, you know, I had to stop and think, who's doing the cross-examination here? Because it sounds like it's a litany of guns, which doesn't help the defendant. He just by association of firearms. Milton, a defense mistake, or were they trying to get out in front of something the prosecution might expose?
I think that they were trying to get out from this particular witness something the prosecution did not do at all, that they should have done so, that the prosecution should have come out straight out with that information about the possession of the guns. But the more guns you place on Brandon, the more that you have the jury thinking, wait a minute, Brandon may have something to do with this. Brandon is familiar with the operation of weapons. He can tell the difference between a pistol and a revolver, between a semi-automatic. He can tell the difference, and he has an AR-15. So, you know, this is the type of situation that I wish the defense would have been more stronger with Brandon by putting the more guns you put on Brandon, and the closer you put into the time of September, October of 2017, I think the better. So I got to give some credit to the defense, but I wish it would have been more aggressive.
And I think the jury might just be left with the impression that, well, there's no murder weapon here, but we know the defendant knows guns. That's, you know, we're simple people. We know she knows guns. Not a big stretch to think she used one in this case. Might be what the prosecution is really left with. Okay, let's take a quick break. We'll come back to the case out of Florida against Ashley Macarthur. They are on a lunch break. We're catching up with some of the goodies that we may have missed from earlier today or last night. So come right back.